How's it going, guys? Blue-Beard Gamer here. Welcome back to Quarantine SMP. Basically, I had a lot of diamonds sitting around, and I realized I could buy some shulker boxes, because those things are pretty great. However, the problem is, there's only one shop that sells them, and last I checked, they were 12 diamonds each. So, I thought to myself, what if they weren't? So here's the plan I went with. I went and farmed a lot more diamonds, and then I gave Baby Zombie a deal he could not refuse. What do you need when you're fighting in a war? You always need money. And what do I need? Or I don't really need it, but I want shulkers. But I basically said to him, hey look, you're fighting a war right now, your shulker boxes really haven't been selling. Here's what we'll do. If you make the shulker boxes 5 diamonds each, I'll buy them. So he said, okay, yeah, I'll put him down to 5 diamonds temporarily. And then I completely bought out his entire stock. This is the result of our work. Look at this. 27 shulker boxes. Those are just the ones we bought. We still have the 2 that we had originally. Our storage problem, which we don't really have here, but in terms of just carrying things on us, I don't think we'll have a problem ever again. Now the question is, what do we do with 27 shulker boxes? Now we could use every single shulker box, or if we end up not needing that many, now that the shulker shop is out of stock, I could potentially sell them for double the price. Well, how does that quote go? When life gives you lemons, call them yellow oranges and sell them for double the price? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I have shulker boxes, I will call them shulker boxes, but they're lower in stock, and I could make some money off of this. So you guys remember how I said I wanted to profit from this war as the world burned around me? It has begun. Before we make any progress though, there's one thing I wanted to do this entire season that I haven't had the chance to do yet, and now I can. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Alright, now that we've color-coded these, I'm going to have to grab a couple of them. We're going to need this redstone one for the projects we're going to be working on today, which I realize now, oh. Can I help you, sir? I mean, if I can't help you, then I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. I can't aim, oh my gosh. Anyway, what we're gonna do this episode is we're actually going to be working some more on the spider's den. Because, I don't think we've made any sales yet, so we're clearly gonna have to change our strategy. Again? How many times do I have to say no? I don't want to fight in the war. I just want to make money off of it. Gosh darn it. Is it kind of sad that the thing that bugs me the most about this is that the signs are different colors? I'm not going to complain about free signs, as HuJoe probably knows by now. Oh wait, that's the wrong chest. I like having a lot of signs. In fact, I'm actually going to bring these for this. Oh my gosh, Baby Zombie's up to 21 deaths. Dude, what happened? I think earlier this week he was at something like 12. And before you guys say something, no, I am not death-shaming him. I'm just very confused is all. I think it's important every now and then to take a fly around and to see how our kingdom is looking, and oh my gosh, it looks amazing. I'm really liking this. Now obviously all the trees and the sugarcane and the wheat, this is all temporary. The bamboo, of course, the cactus. Ow! You saw nothing. That was a perfect landing, and you know it. Chop, chop, chop. That's a really fun idea for something I want to do in the spider's den. The problem is, I'm going to need soul sand for it. And soul sand is really the last thing I want to be mining at the moment. Because mining soul sand means we have to be in the nether, and oh, that's just, it's awful. It's really awful. So I'm not going to lie, I haven't been down this way directly beneath my portal in a long time. What is this? What is this mess? It looks terrible. I mean, come on, guys. Who did this? Oh, and it keeps going. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not going to complain about free dirt, that's for sure. Perhaps I shouldn't have brought all my really good stuff on this trip, considering that there is a possibility that we could die. And if I died, I'd probably just rage quit right there. Oh my gosh, that'd be awful. I hope that's not foreshadowing. If I were soul sand, which I'm not, where would I be? I actually wasn't even trying to zoom in on that. That was just purely by accident. Please don't die, 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 please don't die. Oh, I don't like this at all. The instant I hear a ghast, I am flying away. Alright. We have 2 stacks of soul sand. That's pretty good. Now my question is, do we risk going over into this biome to grab some warped resources? Because I don't have any of those yet. Okay, it seems like it's just Enderman over here, which is actually fine. I'm okay with that. It's weird that it sounds like stone and dirt at the same time. It's so weird to me. Okay, that's enough. Get me out of here. I do not want to be here right now. Get me home. Ow! Oh my gosh, I'm about... That hurt! That hurts so bad! Ouch! Alright, I am going to make the executive call that these resources that we have here are enough for now. Actually, you know what? No, I have all these shulker boxes that I could use. Let's bring some more resources. No need to chicken out or anything. So those of you who heard me earlier when I said we were working on the Spider's Den may be wondering, well, Blue-Red Gamer, what about the Spider's Den are you working on? And that's a valid question. We need to discuss that. So what I want to do in the Spider's Den is, first off, I finally want to build an exterior. Because, you know, exteriors are kind of important. But second, I want to restructure the entrance, which I know is the main deal about the Spider's Den. But, I mean, the shop's been open for a little while now, and we haven't been making any money. So I am concerned that my 1 diamond entry fee is scaring people away. So I'm basically just going to take that down, but upgrade all the stuff inside to make people want to spend more money. So hopefully I'll actually start making profit by people showing up. I don't know why I just jumped down here. We need to be working on the top area. Alright, and I'm actually not going to be time-lapsing this, because normally when I time-lapse these buildings, for example, the 2 buildings I've already built, actually I guess 3, I forgot about the villager hall for a second, or the records office is the appropriate term for it. Normally I have those built entirely in advance, and I'm just building off of a copy of it. But in this case, I've done some thinking in my head, but I have no idea what I want this to look like, or I have no idea what template I'm working with here. So this is basically just going to be freestyle, and I'll just, maybe I'll insert in points from it, but I may just come back when the thing is built. So if that's the case, I will see you there. Alright, let's sprinkle some of that there. And I don't know, we'll have it taper off from back here. And then come up to the front like this. Sprinkle a little bit of this here. Alright, now we have a pretty good size defined for this thing, so we just need to flesh it out. We'll try to round this out a bit more here, because I think that'll just be a better look overall. Alright, I think I have a pretty good shape for what I want here. Yeah! That actually looks like it blends in pretty well. All we have to do now is flesh this area out a bit more so it feels a bit more natural. Because right now it does feel... This feels a bit steep. I want to fix that. Oh, hello. Did you come to inspect my building? That's normally a creeper's job, but it's nice of you to stop by, I guess. We're going to put the building on hold for a moment so I can show you something that is seemingly completely unrelated. But check out my tools. I really did some work with some villagers, and I've basically upgraded Excalibur to maximum overdrive. It's so great. I feel like I hear a zombie. But also, I didn't leave out Haxorus, of course. I upgraded it to be sharp, with sharpness 5, to play off of the namesake. Not the fastest thing in the world, but it's certainly going to do some damage when it hits. If you guys still don't get that reference, that honestly makes me a little sad. I think I may have to stop the video now. Ow! No, I'm just kidding. I'm not ending the video yet. I have things to do. And a quote on me, but more importantly, things to do. Kick that music back on. Alright, so now that we have a pretty decent shell constructed, we're going to take our stones and our resources and we're going to flesh this thing out a bit more. First, though, we're going to build a mighty tree. It's going to be the best tree you've ever seen. What I would also like to do is I could actually set this up to where the roots are coming inside this thing. I kind of want to have the roots spreading down like this. This is going to be a much smaller tree than what I was planning on doing. Unfortunately, there's just not as much space to work with, so we're gonna have to... We're still gonna go for the look of a nice dead, kind of a tree you would imagine in a swamp or a witch's den, even though these are spiders, but that's besides the point. You know, that's not the best dead tree in the world, I'm gonna be honest, but I've never built one of these before. I think it's passable. I think the reason it doesn't look super good is because it's a small one. If it was a much larger dead tree, there's a lot more detail that can go into that, but unfortunately, that's not what I have done for some reason. So that's definitely what I was going for. Obviously, the grass has to grow in. We have to add in a couple more stones for, you know, to make it look a bit more like a hill, or it's almost like a hobbit hole type thing. I got a little bit of texture on the wall. Okay, guys, this is my first look at it. After taking in all the scaffolding, all the other materials, and I'm gonna be honest, I think it looks not bad. I don't think it looks great by any means. I mean, there's still plenty of room for improvement. I mean, we could put stairs there at the very least. Although I think those would look better as slabs. And as you can see, there's just a lot of tweaking that needs to happen with this. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the exterior right now. I do have to do a little bit more work in here. I'd love to get a cauldron back there, some more lights. In fact, let's work on that. Alright, I've tweaked the inside a little bit, so the roots are a little more visible. I've added in a cauldron and a little soul campfire here. All in all, I still don't think the inside looks great. For example, I have to replace the grass floor with stone, a variety of stones. I'm gonna have to come back and do that at a future point, though, because I have to go do something else that involves real life. So I'm gonna pick this back up when I'm done with that. So what we're gonna do now is we've done the exterior. What we really have to work on now is the interior, because this is in a really bad spot. This is in a really bad spot. I'm going to have to move both of these over to the side here, probably. And I also am going to be doing some work on the interior. And by that, I mean this whole system is going to get ripped up, because I feel like the reason no one is coming by and buying stuff is because of this entry fee. It scares people off, which admittedly I can kind of understand why. An Aldi gimmick may not exactly work for this server. But we're going to change that up. We're going to move this payment system now over to this experience farm, because that's the main reason I had it here anyway. So we're going to basically move this over to here. Maybe even put in a system so that this area is lit up on the inside until you stand in a particular spot, because that'll help keep the lag down by not spawning the spiders unless it's being used. Now, that will allow us to open up this wall here and have a lot more interior space, and it'll feel a lot more open. I'd love to raise the roof a bit more, because right now it kind of feels like a cellar, which isn't exactly the feeling I wanted to go for. I wanted to go for a big open cavern sort of thing. And lastly, you guys may wonder, I haven't mentioned this at all yet, but you'll notice we have a slab floor instead of just a smooth floor like this. The reason for that is I originally had a flat floor that was at the regular level, but it turns out this half of the room is actually in a slime chunk. So I ended up with slimes all around this room, and I couldn't do that because they could potentially hurt people while they're trying to AFK farm. So what I've actually done, as you can see down here, I've actually gone down to essentially the level that the slime farm's going to have to be at, and I'm going to install that. There's another slime chunk over that direction where the cavern used to be, or where the chasm used to be that I covered up. We'll probably install something over there as well, and we can have those slime farms generate some slime that will add another item to our list of things we can sell. And I think that fits really well into our kind of evil theme. Sorry, you've listened to me talking a lot. I'm trying to explain a lot because I'm not going to be able to necessarily record the whole thing just because of the time of night it is. I'm getting all this in now so that when you see the work that happens, you'll understand why. And if I end up working on this more tomorrow and not doing it all tonight, then I will be able to record it then. It's just the time of night, I can't really do that. So I'll see you then, guys. So it turns out that this project actually took more than that night. It took the next day, the day after that, and the day after that. Basically, I worked for 2 weeks on this thing, so I'm going to be throwing in all the work from when I did that, or at least the highlights. Well, this video is not going out on time. I feel like I should show you some of the work I've been doing. I've dumped probably 6 hours into this. As you can see, I've decommissioned this. I'm going to have to fill in the top here so I don't jump down there by accident. Now I've moved it over here into the corner, so it's a lot better. I've worked on a little bit more decoration, trying to open the room a bit. I had to basically, the roof was down here before. I had to, with this all being gone already, I had to then raise the roof a few more blocks, expand it all back outward this way. This is the layout for the slime farm, as you can see here. I've actually completely finished it, except for this glass here, and that one glass there, because that's where I had some scaffolding. But this thing does technically work. It's just the slimes aren't going to spawn when I'm right here, so in that case, it'd be for the other slime farm, which is off over that way or something, from what I remember. So it's a distance thing, so that one would probably be functioning when this one wasn't. But yeah, I wanted to at least get a little bit of a checkpoint in here, if you will, because, my gosh, this is taking a long time. I don't know if you can tell, but I actually had to light up the inside of my cave spider farm here, because it was just, the spiders were spawning so frequently that it was lagging my client out so much. It was really bad. And obviously I have a bajillion supplies I have to transport back. So, yeah, that checkpoint is in. I'll let you know when more progress is made. Alright guys, I kind of wish I had done this before I started laying down the cobblestone, but I have finally finished carving out a bit of an area here. And you can't really tell because I don't have this lit up, so it kind of fades into darkness, but good grief, this thing took hours and hours to do. Actually, the funny thing is, this shulker box was full of sand when I got here. I used over a shulker box of glass in this project, because this entire layer here is glass, and the outskirts of this here, actually I'll go show you, it'll be a lot easier to see that way. All of this outskirt is glass outside of this machine so that we can see the waterways and make sure they're functioning. We have our access hatches into the actual wiring here, just in case we need to modify it or it breaks for some reason and we need to fix it. Oh, this has been a very long and expensive project, but we are getting there. What I'm doing now is I'm actually layering cobblestone on top of this, because this is going to be the lowest level for the actual spider's den that everyone else will see. All of the stuff under here is going to be for maintenance and for the redstone and all the behind-the-scenes stuff. And gosh, I actually had to light this thing up for a little while I was doing that, because this would spawn, you know, maybe 60 spiders, and they'd be sitting in there. They would just crash my frames. So, that's besides the point, though. I have fixed the water elevator. I don't remember if I ever showed this off. I have a little bit of, I don't know what I was trying to do here. I was just trying to go for a cool looking platform, I guess. So I decided to try out some barrels and then a little bit of a lattice structure. And then this is the drop down and fall. Can't speak. These are the water elevators now, and I did move them. I fixed this area up here. I think it looks a lot better now. I'm really happy with that, although I wasn't aware that this shape was going to be symmetrical like this. I may have to modify that by putting a block or two out of place over here. But yeah, I think it's really coming along. This pathway is so long. This is ridiculous. Who's ever going to come out here for this? Yeah, but I'm going to go back off of camera again to at least finish the floor and start putting in some redstone. Maybe thinking about a layout for where I want the actual machines to be. For example, the bins for the string and the spider eyes. Where do I want those? Etc, etc. Alright, we're probably on about day... what is this? Maybe 8 or 9 now at this point. I've been working on this for a while, okay? I have the cobblestone floor fully laid. Ignore this. This is something I was doing so I could actually access these chests, as you'll see in a little bit. The slime farm is pretty much completely covered up at this point, which is good, because we don't need to see that. It looks really cool, but that doesn't fit with the aesthetic that we're going with for this project. And this is just a maintenance hatch that I'm using right now. That won't be there in the future. I want to show off a little bit of the redstone before it gets surrounded with a bunch of building resources. So, the first thing I wanted to show off is basically the way I'm trying to remember which barrel it was. One of these barrels I have set up as an item filter. It's that one. And then this will... I'll cover that all up so it looks a bit natural. The way I have this set up is pretty simple. It's just an item filter around back here that pumps into this barrel. And when there's something in this barrel, it sends a signal that retracts the piston, which means that this will stay open until I get down here and I can pull this out. Other than that, all I have set up for the getting out of here is just a button back there attached around to a pulse extender hooked up to that same circuit. So we can just do that, and we'll have plenty of time to get out of here. There we go, and it'll close behind us. This is actually what I'm more excited about. So, as I mentioned in, I think, a previous clip, the biggest issue I was having with this cave spider spawner is that while I was working in the area, it would spawn cave spiders, and it would just lag my client out because there'd be 60 spiders in here that weren't being taken care of, and it would continue to build up. So what I've done is a very simple redstone circuit here. I've installed redstone lamps all around the exterior, and I have one up at the top, actually, which you can't really see. There we go. You can kind of see there I have the redstone burning, and there's a redstone lamp down there. And I was able to set that up so while these lamps are on, it actually completely prevents the cave spiders from spawning. Now, whenever you actually go into here, there'll be a pressure plate. Basically, while you're operating it, you just stand on the pressure plate, and that'll allow the cave spiders to spawn, which will mean that unless you're actually using the farm, it's not creating lag, which is awesome. Leaves more lag-free, I don't know, what is it, bandwidth, I guess, for the rest of the server, because I was kind of consuming it a bit. Now, as for this room, the reason it looks like this is because I'm probably going to be putting almost like a big column here, so I'm decorating it up to kind of match the aesthetic we had outside. But ignore the dirt, by the way, that's not going to stay there. And speaking of this, I may as well get rid of these. Did I get them all? I think that's the number I had. That's probably right. Yeah, but in order to get in, it still has the same iron door as before, and that's because you still have to pay to get in this thing. It's an XP farm after all. You're paying for using the service. And by the way, I forgot to show this off before, but this is the pressure plate system. Extremely simple. You have the redstone running into a torch, which depowers it, and then you just have a torch tower here. That's it. It's really simple. As for this machine, I had to do a little bit of fiddling with this because I originally built this entire thing to be flat and flush with the door entryway, and all of this was part of it, and then I realized, you know what, this is going to be a bit of a column, and that would mean that it's kind of a circular thing in the middle of the room, which would mean that in order for it to look better, I should push it back. So I disassembled the entire thing and moved it back by a block. So that was fun. So let me show you how this thing works. It's a bit more complicated than what I had before, but it's just a kind of a combination of some simple parts. We still have our 2 item filters over here. We have the diamond for the payment, and then we have the pass that I normally have set up so I don't have to pay myself. And then everything else gets filtered around to this third hopper, which will then trigger the, I guess, the incorrect sound. We don't have the jingle anymore for the other 2 because, frankly, we didn't need it. We're a little bit confined for space back here. The way I have the hopper set up, this is the diamond one, feeds into the barrel. I'm eventually going to have some hoppers that'll actually send that into a just 1 profit chest that I can access, but for now, just setting this thing up, we have a barrel. And then this is the passes you can see here, and everything else, that'll all feed back around, going around to here, into the dropper, which is basically just a repeat of what I had on the old one. It spits back out, but I'm working with a little bit less space in terms of verticality, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Now, that's all taken care of. I have the carpets just for spawn proofing, of course. Now, the big thing I'm excited about was I had to get, this is just accepting the items, but I had to make it so that the door that was up there would actually stay open long enough. So what I did there was I just ran from the item filters that are here. I actually had repeaters set up so it would detect when the item has actually entered through the system, since this redstone flashing in this hopper right here, or I guess the one above it, is what unlocks this to allow an item through. So this signal will be picked up, it'll be sent over here to a hopper clock pulse extender. It's just modified as a regular piston instead of a sticky piston. I found this design on YouTube. I'll see if I can put the link in the description if I can find the video again. But yeah, just that simple modification. I just have a couple items in here, and that allows the pulse to be extended for a long enough time that it then runs up into here, which I have 2 redstone torches that are kind of deactivating each other because I needed to be able to have it set up to something, because the block's above, and this is the only way that I could remember that you could power the block above is with the torch, so I just had a double torch system. So oh gosh, I thought that was a zombie. I was so confused how that spawned in here. The whole reason I made this floor glass is so we wouldn't have to worry about mobs spawning anywhere. That would have been really weird. Anyway, let's test this thing out because I want to show it off. We'll use the pass because that's the simplest method. Actually, we'll use a stone first. Oh, it just occurred to me I have my game sound off. I should probably turn that... Wait, no I don't. Where's the jukebox? Huh. You can't hear it. It's definitely there. I don't know why I'm not hearing it. After a little bit of fiddling. Maybe 2 blocks lower? I know this is not how I had it previously, but maybe this is what I have to do. It's not that I'm too far away, it's just not activating for some reason. There we go, that got it. It was just being sent through too quickly that the comparator somehow didn't pick up that it was there. So yeah, as you can see, that item didn't work. If I use my item, we'll just slide this into here. As you can see, this opened up. You could hear the hopper clock pulse extender down there. It's open for a good long amount of time, then it closes. And I actually found another really nice way of improving upon this design. Let me just go in and show you. Something I was having a problem with is, one, the hoppers, because I want to make sure that you don't really, because I'm trying to sell these items, of course. So if people get some string and some spider eyes occasionally here and there, you know what, that's fine, I could put up with that. But the issue I was having is, where can you stand that you can get the XP, but not get killed by the, or not get killed isn't the right word, not get attacked by the spiders, because it's a very delicate balance. I actually found that a chest works pretty well, because originally I just had trapdoors here that were sticking out, and you couldn't get the XP because it was too far away. But because this chest is just so ever slightly skinnier than a block, and as you can see, I stepped on the pressure plate, so these guys are instantly going to spawn. They can't reach me, and I can now get their XP to my heart's content. The one flaw with this design is, if cave spiders spawn after you leave, then they're just going to be sitting in here, obviously, but that's a very small fluke, considering that 99% of the time this thing's not going to be generating any lag at all, which is amazing. Alright, that's really all the progress I had to show. I'm going to be working on setting up the rest of it. I'm probably going to be putting over here somewhere, maybe similar to how this is set back a little bit, I guess the little stalls for the string for the spider eyes, and I do have to link up the slime now, because I do have that set up over here for now, which obviously, because I'm so close to the farm, it's not producing any slime, but ideally when I'd be up on the surface or something, kind of walking down, it'd spawn a slime or two, and we could get some slime in here. Oh, why am I going up this way? Yeah, so I have to run all that up through here. Ideally, I'd like to keep the wiring down there and then just have a water elevator or something run the items up here, just so that this area stays open for something else, maybe? I don't quite know. This obviously has to get covered up. But I think that'd be a nice look to it, so that's what I'm going to try to do. And I will be back when that has happened. See you then. Guys, I am very tired. I've been working on this for about 2 weeks, and I've finally gotten it to a point where I feel like I'm happy opening it back up to customers again. So, you've seen the exterior by now. I think I've shown this off plenty of times. I did add this. I don't remember from the last time I recorded, because I recorded maybe a week ago, that last update. I don't remember if I had this. So here we are. I did check already that there's water down there. I died a 4th time, because I took the water away to keep people out. But then I jumped down there myself. Oh, the Enderman actually dropped off some gravel for me. That actually kind of looks good in here. You know what? Endermen aren't so bad after all. Anyway, let's jump on down. I'm very happy with how this thing looks. Unfortunately, this area still looks very square-like. I added in this pillar to try to help out with that, but this is all still a work in progress, of course. I just needed to get this to a spot where I could open it up to customers. And yeah, let's just get a good look at this thing. There we go. I did try to go for a bit of a cave aesthetic. I actually went with a little sunken path down here because I ran into the issue of how to keep mobs from spawning. Because originally I had these lights up here hanging to keep these wall areas from getting mob spawn on them. And then I realized, wait a second, I can't just have torches all over the floor. I have to figure this out. So I was able to strategically place these around here to make it look like they're along a pathway, and then I put in a pathway to compensate for the areas that were not lit up properly. So this has allowed for us to be able to have a completely mob-free area with a nice decoration with a little bridge here going over the water. I just kind of wanted to add this in to make it feel like it's a bit more underground. It's not even really needed, but I thought it was cool. And there's definitely room for expansion back here. That giant room you guys saw previously, I'm probably only using about half to 2/3 of it. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. But as for redstone, we have our string, our spider eyes, and slime balls from the slime farm, all hooked up to these appropriate areas with item filters. I'll show all the redstone off in a second because it's a pain in the butt to navigate through. It's awful. I'm not super happy with the staircase. I was trying to make it look a little bit dilapidated, so I made these kind of look a little unhinged almost. I don't know the proper word for it. But yeah, as you guys know, the experience farm... Actually, I don't remember if I mentioned this. This used to be over here. You guys heard me complain about having to rebuild it one block back. I then rebuilt it on the other... I took it down and then rebuilt it on the other side. So I had to build this one mechanic 3 times for just one outcome. It was kind of annoying. But you know how this works. I put this in, the door will open. It's the same circuitry I showed off last time, so I'm not going to repeat that. I am going to sign this book, though, now that we're officially opening again. What day is it? Okay. Yeah, so I wrote this book 2 days ago. Experience Farm... I don't know, we'll just call it Experience Farm. Oh, that's all that fits. How about this? Experience Farm 1. There we go. Alright, we can put that back there, and it's just the instructions. You guys can pause if you want to read these. Yeah, so I actually modified it to, with that chest design in there, it turns out if you're all the way up against the chest, you will occasionally get drops. I modified it to make it seem like it was better value, to say, yeah, you're occasionally going to get drops, you can keep those, just don't take anything out of the hoppers, because while the chest is there, you can technically see a hopper and access it in that little gap. But now let's get to the redstone, because I've showed off the building stuff enough, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. By the way, cobblestone, stone, and andesite, and their varying slabs and stairs, you can combine them all and create an amazing cave aesthetic. So let's actually show off how this works. So I actually moved this access point here. As you can see, I expanded this wall out a bit, and there's nothing back here. There's nothing really to worry about. It's just empty space. But I wanted to make the area feel a little less square-like. Did I just lose my stone? I don't know where that went. I'll have to put it back in a second. You put your key in. I think it's over here. Yep, there we go. You drop right down, and now we are in the belly of the beast. Because my goodness, this place is a mess. I can't find where the stone went. Oh, I used this pickaxe. It's not stone anymore. Well, there we go. It's a stone brick now. How about that? So I moved the item filter 90 degrees rotation. It's fine. It's all the same mechanics as I had previously, just scooched over a bit. I have modified the button a little bit. I was able to find a way to get my pulse extender set up so that the button wasn't in a weird spot. I mean, it's still kind of in a weird spot going up this ladder, but it's not too bad. I'll pull this back just to have it on me. This is all the stuff I have to clean up still. And yeah, as you can see, the redstone here is insane. It's a mess. The slime farm, it's really messy. All I did was just hook this little area up I had over here into some hoppers, run it all the way over to this item dispenser with, or I guess it's technically a dropper, but it dispenses items, you know what I mean? And we have the hoppers from the spider farm, which is this line here, hooked up from the spider farm, which is in there. Ouch. Yeah, as you can see, it's a pain in the butt to navigate all this. In here, it runs all the way out, and it connects up to where the slime balls would meet up. It runs into this item elevator with the appropriate system there. Runs all the way up there, which I don't have my thing set up anymore, my scaffolding to show you that, but it runs all the way up to here. The hoppers run along. We managed to squeeze 3 item filters. Ow. Into this small of a space. I'll show you where all 3 of these item filters are, so that you can be amazed at how I fit this in. It actually took me about half an hour to fit these all in properly. Ow! I need my training wheels, apparently. But while I'm back here, I'll actually show you. See, all of this space is unused. And I can always open up this area in the future if I have more items to put along. This will kind of be my corner for items to sell. And then I can easily just move this back a ways. Because I like the look of it. But I just needed to wall it off so it wasn't this random hallway sticking back out there. All the other systems are basically the same. The only new things that I can think of for you guys would be the actual dispensing and sorting of the items into the appropriate chests. I actually did hook up, as you can see, there's item filters also below, which is why these item filters were a pain, is because they had to be in an area where they wouldn't interfere with these ones, sucking diamonds out of all 3 of the chests, bringing them over into our profits chest, which has been lowered to compensate to make the hoppers sync up properly, without interfering with any other redstone. So yeah, all 3 of those item filters fit into where you see these items, they all fit into there, in that tiny gap, without interfering with each other in any way. I think there's 6 item filters in there. My gosh, that was a pain to figure out. But I'm going to open this thing up, see what people's responses are. Everything should work. For those of you who are watching who are on the server, if there's some sort of bug, let me know so I can fix it. Because I've done a bit of testing with putting things in item filters, and it seems like it works. But let me know if I missed something so I can fix it. And, yeah. I'm probably going to call it here, because I have spent 2 weeks on nothing in Minecraft but this project. And I'm just a little tired. I don't know how long this episode will be for you guys. It's probably going to be really short, and I apologize for that, because there wasn't much I actually had on camera. Turns out this is actually going to be probably the longest video I've made so far for this series, so I clearly underestimated how much footage I had. Also, I found this. I don't know who did this. I mean, look at this. It's a floating tree. This is witchcraft. It's next to the spider's den. Maybe that's why it's floating. It's because all that evil magic has caused it to float. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, this is probably going to be a bit of a short episode. I apologize for that. It's just, I've been working on this for 2 weeks, and I am done for now. I have to get this edited and get it out, because I didn't even have an SMP video last week, because I was still working on this. This was supposed to go out last week. As you can tell, it did not, because of the amount of work I was not expecting that I ended up having to do. So, if you guys liked the video, please give it a like, because I don't want to have to do another 2-week project again, so I hope you guys can see how much work I'm putting in for these videos, even if the videos are a bit short to compensate for that. Sorry about that. So until next time, guys, this is Bloober Gamer signing off. God bless America.